So for my placement, I was head coach of the Dings Crusaders under-16s rugby team. Through this placement, I was looking forward to getting some exposure to experiential learning, which is something that gives you the opportunity to learn things that you wouldn't necessarily get in a formal education environment. This is highlighted by Dwyer and Gellick in 2018, Reed et al. In 2017. Also to engage in reflective practice, particularly using Gibbs' 1988 reflective cycle. The reflective practice I'd hoped would allow me to learn in a systematic, consistent manner, bridge my experiences, my observations and philosophies all together, which is supported by Hemmings and Holder in 2009 and Nelson and Cushion in 2006. Now, if we look at a situation where there was a positive outcome, the players actually asked to lead their own warm-up and construct their own warm-up. In terms of my feelings, there was an initial element of nervousness that turned to pride. The evaluation about what was good and bad about the experience as they engaged in constructing it and actually completed a really effective warm-up session. And the reason why this was good is because the players showed some maturity and confidence to request the opportunity and then to carry it out effectively. I also felt that I facilitated it to an appropriate level, supporting without being overpowering or too distant. And in terms of what I could have done differently, for me it was an overall positive. I potentially could have asked them prior sessions it's something they wanted to do. However, for them having the confidence to come and ask me is a real positive. And therefore, moving forward, I let them take ownership of warm-ups, facilitating and supporting as needed. If we look at a situation where potentially things didn't go too well, there was a poor attendance at one session due to the fact that the players had gone to a party the night before. My initial feelings were frustration and anger. I felt the players had let down the coaches and the players that have bothered to attend. In terms of what was good and bad about the experience, the negatives were that I'd vented at the attendees and lost focus for the session. The good was that the players actually wanted to self-manage this situation in themselves internally, again showing that maturity. The reason why it was a negative is because the attendees that made the effort to be there got the brunt of the frustration when it shouldn't have been the case. What I should have done differently is I should have completed the session as normal, reflected on poor attendance post-session and then address if needed, but the fact that players were willing to do it that internally sort of suggests I didn't need to address it. And moving forward, I'm going to make sure that I reflect on action in those circumstances as opposed to inaction, potentially letting my emotions get the better of me. Now, if we look at why the placement has been positive, specifically referring back to the self-assessment completed at the start of the module, in terms of my skills, I feel my interpersonal skills have improved. I've adapted to an ageing playing group and I'm showing stronger body language following feedback from players. My planning and time management continues to develop. I can still procrastinate at times, but overall I feel that it's going in the right path. And that's similar with my reflective practice. I'm getting far more efficient at that. Innovation for me can be hard at times. I need to utilise other coaches more often to come up with good ideas, because actually they do come up with good ideas. And therefore, potentially my collaboration skills weren't as strong as I first thought. And moving forward, I'm looking forward to carrying on this placement and really doing what I can to get the most out of it and continue my coaching journey.